First pitch is a called ball, a little high at 91 for Easton Talt, who steps in the plate. He is wearing one of those, I believe he's wearing, the quarterback with the little, fanny pack things, the hand warmers. He's wearing one of those. 1-0, misses inside, 2 balls and no strikes at 94 for.
It's cold, Bobby.
Yeah.
He's got to keep the hands
This is one of the first times I've seen it, though, at least for a baseball player. 2-0, runs inside again, 3 balls and no strikes.
Talt coming off a decent day yesterday. He had a hit and scored a pair of runs in that 16-5 run rule victory for the Beavers, hitting .329 on the season. Shows bunt, and it's a 4-pitch walk to lead things off. Easton Talt will take first base, and Brockett has yet to throw a strike and already has a runner aboard. He's got to get that zone, and he's really good at home. We said that legitimately a minute ago. He's going to just try to find it, especially with the ball being could be a little damp, can be cold. It's hard to get a grip on it. Usually when he throws, it's a little warmer at home, and he's able to get a much better feel for it, but it's a bit of a different atmosphere today. We'll talk about the weather here in just a minute. Stepping up to the plate now is Iva Arquette. First pitch to Arquette is a called strike at 92 miles an hour over the middle of the plate. Yeah, and the walks yesterday were killer for Nebraska. They walked the bases loaded in that inning when Oregon State really blew it wide open. Just if they can't find Oregon State, one of the best teams in the country, one of the best offenses in the country. If you can't find the zone, they're going to take advantage of it, and that's kind of what put the game out of reach yesterday afternoon.
0-1 caught the inside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. Brockett, the lefty, throwing to Arquette, the right-handed batter. Defense playing normal. Time will be an issue for this game as well. Throw over and check on the runner at first. He got back in plenty of time. Big question with it is they want to get Oregon State out of here by about 4:15, 4:30 so they can catch their flight back home. It's hard to reschedule flights. I don't know how much you've rescheduled a flight for a team before. I can't say I have, but I know it's not easy. No balls, 2 strikes, pitch inside. Did he go around? He did not. Arquette held up, and it's called ball 1.
I've never rescheduled a flight for a full baseball team, but I did have.
Would you want to?
I would not want to do that, no.
Have to push flights back doesn't sound fun. Brockett sets and will deliver the 1-2 home to Arquette. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Out number 1 here in the first. Brockett gets a strikeout.
Much better response there from Brockett with the strikeout you'll see on your screen right here. The upside for Jackson Brockett is there. He's had some really solid outings, including that 4 2/3 right here against Washington and the Sunday win a couple of weekends ago. But just kind of an up and down roller coaster. But when he's on, and Nebraska's going to need that, especially some. Saw a lot of arms go yesterday in that 16-5 loss, trying to find the answers. Brockett looking to pick up the bullpen here this afternoon.
Trent Caraway hits one into left field, coming on in and making this sliding catch out in left field is Devin Nunez. Good effort by him. You don't really know with the wind. It hung up there for a minute. He makes out number 2.
Yeah, Nunez started the season at second base, made the shift out to left field during that West Coast stint for Nebraska. Wind blowing left to right. Could play a little bit of a factor there, but nice read and sliding grab out there for Devin Nunez as
they want to look at it.
They want to give it a
look.
Will.
And they'll look at it. An early review in the top of the first inning. Well, I don't know what your best angle is to see if that ball were to hit the grass or not. 10 straight games with a hit. He has been on par with last season's numbers, if not a little bit better, hitting the baseball. Over the last 10 games, he is batting .450, 6 extra base hits, 4 home runs, 3 of them came yesterday, 11 RBIs. First pitch to Turley is a called strike. 9 runs in 5 multi-hit games, as there's a look at his numbers, batting .348, 28 RBIs, 7 home runs, and an OPS over 1,000. He's also on an on-base streak of 19 games in a row.
Those 3 home runs yesterday now put him 5 shy of tying the home run record for the Oregon State baseball program.
He could hit that today if you really wanted to. Career high in home runs in a game.
Yeah,
it's possible.
I mean, based on how he did yesterday,
hey, you never know.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Especially with the wind as well. 1-1 inside, called the ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. The last game he did not reach base, February 22nd versus Oklahoma. He went 0 for 5 in that game. So pushing on over a month. 2 balls and 1 strike. Turley grounds it over to short. Just needing 1. They throw over to second. They got the out, and that is the end of the top of the first inning. Bottom of the second inning, and here is something that happened in the first inning. There was the interference call that happened at second base. Right there is refusing to slide was Case Sanderson, which resulted in, essentially it was a double play because Brumbaugh had him beat at first base, but because the interference at second, Brumbaugh was out, led to a double play. Nebraska came away with 2 outs on that single play as Tyler Stone steps to the plate. 0-1 hit in the air deep into right field at the track at the wall. Tyler Stone leaves the yard for a home run. It's 1-0 Nebraska. They needed the start offensively, and there it is.
Tyler Stone with his second home run of the weekend. The first coming on a Friday night 2-run blast into the right field bullpen. That one barreled up to the right center gap, caught up in that wind that we previously talked about potentially, and just no doubt about it off the bat. Center fielder and right fielder for Oregon State made a decent attempt, but all hope was lost. Tyler Stone gets all of that one and puts the Huskers on the board here first.
Well, I mean, when that baseball goes halfway up the berm in right center field as well, you are not making a play on it. Good luck. Jeske steps to the plate. No home runs for him, 4 RBIs, and he'd like to go back-to-back in his first home run this season. First pitch he sees is outside for a called ball.
Just got to give the old courtesy jog for the Beavers there. Just barreled that one up. You don't want to give the Stone the satisfaction of watching you guys just stand there. That one goes right, almost off the sidewalk back there.
He hit it a long way. Park. The wind helped as well. Jeske takes the 1-0 for another ball. Count sits at 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 to Jeske. Outside again. 3 balls, no strikes. Kleinschmidt versus these Big Ten teams. He has only allowed 3 earned runs, 4 total runs. This is now run number 5 and 4 earned for him. This is the 4th different Big Ten opponent he is facing. First one he is facing on the road as well. 3-0 called to strike on the outside corner. Count is now 3 balls and 1 strike.
Jeske getting his first start behind the plate this weekend. Local kid, Lincoln Southeast grad from right here in Lincoln, Nebraska. About 12 minutes or so, give or take.
On a good day.
On a good day.
Depending on the time as well.
No, on a Sunday afternoon, you could get there. You could get there at 12 probably.
Friday at 5, probably 20.
Yeah.
Depends what route you take. 3-1 was fouled off in the protected netting. The count is now full for Will Jeske. Not a far track for him. 3-2. Jeske swung on a miss well out in front of it. Kleinschmidt gets the strikeout and 1 away here in the second.
Kleinschmidt dug himself kind of in a hole early, but worked out of it nicely there. Just kept his composure. Got the strikeout that was much needed following the Tyler Stone home run. Kleinschmidt now with 1 down here in the bottom of the second. Much needed out there for that pitcher from Oregon State.
Brings up Devin Nunez. Nunez, 3 home runs, 15 driven in, batting .333 this season. He's got the third baseman playing right on the infield grass and the infield dirt as Nunez ropes one into center field, tracing back and making the catch out in center field is Cannon Reeder having to jump. He kind of got it twisted. I think the wind carried that ball as far as it did as well for out number 2.
Yeah, Reeder didn't get a great jump on it, but able to spin back around there. You'll see a replay of it here. He kind of flipped, kind of opposite of where initially flipped to his right and spun back around. Nice over-the-shoulder grab there for Reeder.
It's not an easy play as a center fielder. Not at all.
Not at all, especially with the wind howling back and forth like it is today.
You can have times where, it's a consistent about 15 mile per hour wind as Swanson steps to the plate. First pitch is a called strike. Man, you get gusts up to 25, 30 miles an hour. You just don't know where it's going to pull the ball.
Kind of just start headed back and just trust you'll get where you need to be. And Reeder had to leap a little bit, leave his feet, but nice play there.
0-1 to Gabe Swanson called a ball, count even a ball, and 1 strike. big for Nebraska to get out in front with a run and give Brockett a little bit more help. Swanson into left field, staying put, and now coming on in, making the catch is Gavin Turley for out number 3, and that will take us to the 3rd inning. However, Tyler Stone
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
I should say yesterday for Oregon State, picking up right where he left off. Yesterday afternoon with a nice piece of hitting here on a left-handed pitcher. Now brings up the top of the lineup with runner in scoring position.
Easton Talt showing bunt right now. Wants to lay it down. First pitch is a called ball at 91. Infield playing in outside of the shortstop carry. He's the only one playing deep, and now he takes a few steps in. Everyone else is either very shallow infield dirt as they lay down the bunt. Not able to make the play was Brockett, but able to make the throw was Overbeek to find Sanderson for out number 1. It advances the runner onto 3rd, so that's where Singer sits with 1 away, and it brings up Iva Arquette.
It's doing a job there if you're Talt and the Beavers. Runner on 3rd, less than 2 outs, anything in the air is most likely going to tie this thing up at 1 as the Huskers will now bring the infield in. Get on that bunt play. It was Overbeek's ball all the way. Easier momentum going over to 1st.
They don't want anything to get by on the infield as the first pitch to Arquette is a called ball at 85 miles an hour down low. Well, anything into the outfield is going to score the run. Sack fly, whatever. It doesn't matter how deep it is. It doesn't matter how shallow it is. Singer's going to try to test the arm of any one of those outfielders and try to beat the throw home. 1-0 to Arquette from Brockett as the infield is in on the infield grass. Caught by Jeske as it ran inside again on Arquette. 2 balls and no strikes for Brockett. Brockett sets, looks and deals home. Arquette fouls it off to the left side by the Nebraska dugout. They'll get it. 2 balls and 1 strike. And if Brockett can get out of this, he would be pretty fired up going back to the dugout.
No easy task here, though, for Jackson Brockett. Iva Arquette selecting the 18th round of the 2022 MLB draft out of high school to the Diamondbacks. He's 6'5" junior. 6'5" junior, especially for Joshua Overbeek. Looking down, the infield's in.
2-1, that is going to go foul just to the right of the right field foul line. Just a little blooper, and everyone kind of was waiting for it to drop and see, is it fair, is it foul? Just foul, a bit of a break for Nebraska, and count sits at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Arquette again will dig in.
Doesn't get much closer than that. Off the bat, I thought that was going to bloop in that right field line. It didn't, just drifted foul. Now Brockett.
Brockett sets and will deal the 2-2 home to Iva Arquette. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big strikeout for Jackson Brockett, and there's 2 away in the 3rd.
Biggest pitch of the afternoon so far for Jackson Brockett, no doubt. Had one of Oregon State's best hitters at the plate. Nice pitch. Just drifted down and in on Arquette. Couldn't get the barrel to it. Now Nebraska's infield goes back to normal depth with 2 outs. Jackson Brockett 1 out away from getting out of yet another danger zone, damage free.
Trent Caraway steps to the plate. First pitch to Caraway is outside for a call ball at 86 miles an hour. I think you want to get him out because if you walk him, you're facing Gavin Turley with runners at the corners. And now, no, I'm not a coach. I don't think that's something I'd want. That is laced into left field down the line. That is a foul ball. Oh, missed it by just about 6 inches. Caraway could have tied this game up at 1 and brought up Gavin Turley. Rather, he just missed it by about half a foot.
When Arquette was at the plate, I said, I don't know how much closer it can get. Well, I think we just answered the question, Bobby. That one was close to being big things for Oregon State. Tie this thing up at 1, carry away in scoring position. Instead, baseball is a brutal game.
1 ball, 1 strike. That gets away. Coming home is Singer. He will be safe, and this game is even at 1. Gets away from Jeske following the wild pitch of Brockett, and we are even at 1 apiece. That's a tough block from Jeske, not getting in front of it.
Jeske just didn't get a great read of it off the hand, tried to backhand it. It just skips away.
2-1 is, again, this one fouled down the left field line. Not as close to the line, but it hit probably just as hard. Caraway just a little too far in front of it. Count even to 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. Brockett deals a 2-2 home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The leadoff double comes around to score on a wild pitch, but that is all the damage that is done. And we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nebraska and Oregon State tied at 1 on Big Ten Plus.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Way here in the bottom of the 3rd, Silva at 2nd, and Sanderson will wait on the pitch from Kleinschmidt. Lefty on lefty, swung on a miss. Heck of a slider, 81 miles an hour. You can see the way the ball moved. The horizontal movement of the baseball, that pitch just is fascinating to watch, and Sanderson is in an 0-2 hole.
If we can tell from up here, the movement on it, it's a pretty good pitch.
Sanderson into left field, that's a base hit. Silva around 3rd, he's gonna score, and Sanderson has an RBI single, giving Nebraska the lead right back, 2-1.
Beautiful hit and run there, 0-2 count on Sanderson. Just takes the pitch right where it was. Silva was on the move. Silva was headed for 3rd, as you'll see right here, hit and run, taken the other way by Sanderson. Silva scores easily, and just like that, Nebraska responds with one of their own to retake the lead here in the 3rd.
And again, that goes back to the bunt by Overbeek. You say, you know, let's just throw it over the top of the lineup and let's see what they can do. Let's put Silva in scoring position. They did that, and it makes it a 2-1 game following. And just Sanderson has to go the other way into left field. Easy hit. Makes it 2-1 Nebraska and brings up Caden Brumbaugh. First pitch to Brumbaugh is outside for a called ball. Now, if this ball gets grounded to 2nd, I think Sanderson has learned his lesson and is probably going to slide into 2nd base this time and not just run like a dead-on sprint.
I would expect some sort of movement out of the baseline.
Something along that, whether it's going down or whether it's going left or right.
And knowing the mindset of baseball players, it will probably be a little potentially overdone out of spite from
maybe
the previous.
Just maybe. 1-1. Here it is. Right on to 2nd. Is caught on a line. Back over to 1st. Double play. And the inning is over. Sanderson just gets caught up there. Nothing he can do. Heck of a hit by Brumbaugh.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Here, this is appearance number 6 for him. Is not allowed to run yet. He has gone 6 innings. He has only given up 1 hit all season. Has struck out 5 batters. Has only walked 1. Has only given up 5 hits this season. So he's a good arm, and I think they want him to try to go eat up as many innings as they can. Now that you have Brockett, who has left the game with maybe an apparent injury.
Tice Pearson is hit by the first pitch from Dice, and that one will load the bases here as Oregon State has something brewing in the top of the 4th. They already had 1 run on the Gavin Turley home run this inning. That tied things back up at 2. Now Brockett responsible for the runners on 2nd and 3rd, Dice on 1st, and the bases are juiced for A.J. Singer.
This is the thing, you mentioned this. This Oregon State lineup is not afraid to pounce. They are like a gazelle in the forest or the Sahara Desert, wherever gazelles live, ready to pounce on a zebra.
First pitch of Singer is upstairs for ball 1. Singer was hit by a pitch in the fourth, hitting .263 on the season. 9 RBIs, 1 home run. Those were the numbers for Tice Peterson. A.J. Singer hitting .286 with 14 RBIs and 1 home run, as that one's inside for ball number 2.
I think right now, if you're Casey Dice, you're hoping you throw a ground ball. Throw something that gets to any one of your infielders quickly so they can double them up.
Was in there for the first strike of the at-bat for Dice. Singer scored the run on the pass ball back in the third after a leadoff double. That tied things back up at 1 at the time for Oregon State. 2-1 pitch upstairs for ball number 3. 3-run count, 3-1 count, and a walk here for Nebraska would just be detrimental. It's just a free run that Oregon State didn't even have to earn. Dice looking to avoid. Hit by a pitch, followed by a walk to give the Beavers the lead. That one's floated into left field. That one's going to drop. That one's going to bring home Weber. Everyone advances 90 feet, and A.J. Singer gives Oregon State their first lead of the day, up 3-2.
Just a simple hit into left center field. It got down. You advance everyone 90 feet off Dice. And you put it in the air, and that's what he wanted to do, only with 1 out. You expand that lead to 3-2.
Nice, easy piece of hitting there from A.J. Singer, as Oregon State now up 3-2. Bases still juiced for the top of the lineup in Easton Tolt. Tolt walked in the first, sacrifice bunt in the third. Now here the chance to do some real damage here in the fourth. Ball's outside for ball number 1. Inside for ball 2. Easton Tolt, 5'10" junior from Everett, Washington. Had a hit and scored twice in yesterday's 16-5 win. Hitting .329 on the season. One's in there for a strike from Casey Dice. 2-1 the count. Top of the fourth, Oregon State out in front 3-2 off the A.J. Singer single. Waved at and missed by Tolt.
Really good pitch. Beautiful slider that drifts inside on the back foot of him. By the way, Jalen Wordley is warming up in the bullpen right now for Nebraska.
Two pitch from Dice. One's flared foul.
He just looked like he threw the bat at it and said, oh, we're going to see where the ball goes here. And you're right, that thing was legit a flare into the left field berm.
Do not want to go down on strikes with the bases loaded. Couldn't do anything with it, just fights it off. Another 2-2 pitch. That one's line foul down the right field line.
So now he's been late and he's been early. Going to be on time this time?
Well, if he's on time, Oregon State will blow this thing wide open.
That's how you'd think it would work, at least from a baseball perspective. Okay, it's too late, then it was too early. Now I know the sweet spot. But it depends which pitch he gets thrown.
Tolt, 4 home runs on the season, a 5th. The 2-2 pitch grounded over to first. Sanderson will go home for 1. They'll stop right there as everyone advances 90 feet, but not before Nebraska gets the second out of the inning on the play from Case Sanderson.
Good play by Sanderson throwing home because he doesn't know if he can get the double from second over to first. So might as well get the runner out first. But I think he was expecting Brumbaugh to get over to first a little bit quicker and be that backup first baseman for him to make the throw from home of Jeske over to him. But Brumbaugh just a little too late getting over there, only gets 1 out rather than the double play.
Ivar Arquette, that's grounded over to Caden Brumbaugh, who throws it over to first. Casey Dice gets out of it, only giving up 1 run, but not before Oregon State gets 2 on the Gavin Turley home run and the A.J. Singer single. Oregon State leads 3-2 to 3.5 on Big Ten Plus.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Frenchman ahead on Stone. 1-2 the count here in the bottom of the fourth. Ball high, evens the count at 2 apiece.
I have a chance to get over there and watch that game if this game ends on time. Watch a little bit of softball. Why not?
Might as well. They won 13-1 yesterday. Playing a Saturday, Sunday, Monday series with the Boilermakers. 2-2 is into left field for a base hit for Tyler Stone. Carey advances to second. Stone 2 for 2 on the day. And the Huskers with first and second, nobody gone here for Will Jeske.
Just a simple piece of hitting, and he goes the other way with it. A pitch that's down and away, and he knows I just got to get metal to the ball. He puts it right through the hole on the left side of the infield into left field. And Will Jeske steps up to plate. 2 on, nobody out. The middle part of this Nebraska lineup with Jeske, Nunez, and Swanson. If we get to Swanson, they have a real chance to make some noise here, Trey. Especially Nunez.
Jeske 0 for 1 on the day, struck out in the second. This one fly ball, left field. Will Jeske gives the Huskers the lead with his first home run of the season. Talked about the home run power he potentially had earlier, Bobby. Will Jeske gets it done that time around. That brings home 3 runs, and just like that, in a back and forth matchup on a Sunday, Nebraska retakes the lead.
He got the pitch to hit. And he drove it a long way onto left field. And what a better one for the first home run of the season for Jeske. You can't ask for one much better than that. And he knew it right away. Flips the bat while looking at the Oregon State dugout and says, here, I'm going to round the bases slowly, and I'm going to take my time and take this one in. I wonder how quickly Oregon State's going to get that pen up and moving, and as it looks like they got a few guys stretching out there now.
Here in Haymarket Park, and one that Nebraska desperately needed as Devin Nunez to the plate. Now he flew out in the second. That first pitch to him is inside for ball 1.
Well, why not time for your first career home run in Nebraska as well for Jeske?
One-0 pitch down for ball 2. Nunez came into the day with the team-leading .333 batting average. It's 27 hits, 3 home runs. Is that one playable now for Tolt in right, who's underneath it for the first out of the inning for Oregon State.
Again, the first one was a line right into center. Second one got a little too far underneath it. It was a high fly ball into right field. The catch is able to be made. There's your first down. Gabe Swanson, he's somebody, he also has power. And Will Bolton Company have just been waiting for his bat to warm up. You remember the Big Ten tournament last season and what he was able to do in Stillwater? It felt like every single time he stepped to the plate, it was a home run.
Down in that Stillwater Regional on a post-game press conference, he said the baseball looks like a beach ball coming up to the plate. Gabe Swanson only in 188 this season. Not the start he would have liked coming back to Nebraska. Had a pinch hit single yesterday in the 16-5 loss late when the game was no longer in doubt. 12 hits on the season, 16 RBIs. Flew out in the second here in game number 3 of this weekend series. The 0-2 outside for ball 1.
Now we're seeing Nebraska come through the order for the second time. So the second time they've seen Kleinschmidt, and they've been able to pounce on him a little more.
Swanson fights off the low breaking ball. Just flipped over to the Nebraska dugout by Carway. 1-2 count on Gabe Swanson. Nebraska leads 5-3 thanks to the Will Jeske 3-run home run. The 1-2 fouled off again from Gabe Swanson.
You know, Swanson wants that big hit as well. He mentioned in Stillwater regionally said it looks like a beach ball, the baseball that is. I can't imagine he's saying that right now at the 190 averages, but that's how baseball works sometimes.
Pitch outside from Kleinschmidt. 2-2 pitch. Fought off again by Gabe Swanson. Some movement up in the Oregon State bullpen. Kleinschmidt up to 54 pitches. The lefty from Mount Angel, it's Gabe Swanson. It's off another one. Count still at 2-2.
It's Leif Palmer. That's who's warming up right now in the Oregon State bullpen.
2-2 pitch from Swanson. High fly ball. Easton Talt has a read on it. He's underneath it. He's now responsible for 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th.
Just another one for Swanson, just a little too far underneath it, the same way Nunez was, and he hits it not to quite the same spot, but same general idea of the outfield. Makes it an easy play for Talt.
Simple routine fly ball brings to the plate Riley Silva. Had that bunt single and scored the run on the Case Sanderson opposite field base hit back in the 3rd. For a bunt again as that one's fouled up and out of play for strike number 1.
And Silva bunted on his way to first last time on what was a close play over there as well. Kleinschmidt just not able to flip it over in enough time.
The 0-1 pitch to Silva. And is lined into center field for a base hit. Silva is aboard for the 2nd time today. Strong ground around first, where he'll stay. Riley Silva, single to center, brings to the plate Joshua Overbeek.
I wonder if Nebraska's talked to some of their Big Ten counterparts like Indiana, Minnesota, and Ohio State, who've all faced Kleinschmidt this season, and said, hey, what's the best way to attack this kid? And they have done exactly that. This is the most amount of runs that he has given up to a Big Ten opponent this season. And I get it, Oregon State is not a Big Ten school, but this is the 4th Big Ten team they have faced this season. It's also the most hits he's given up to a Big Ten school as well.
First pitch to Overbeek is down for a ball. Joshua Overbeek had the sacrifice bunt back in the 3rd that advanced Silva to 2nd, where he would originally score from. Overbeek getting his first start of the weekend. Fly down the right field line, drifting back is Craig. He can't get there. So ball falls aimlessly to the grass. Is Overbeek. Let's find another day. Now 1-1 count for Kleinschmidt.
Those are the most runs he's given up all year at 5. All have been earned. Not the most amount of hits he's given up, though. Most amount of hits was against Cal Poly last Sunday at 6. He's only given up, well, it's even 6. 1 more hit, and this is the most hits he's given up all year.
1-1 the count on Overbeek. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. As Kleinschmidt gives a look over to Silva.
It's a good guy to check on. He's got speed.
Count still sits at 1-1. Silva's on the move. Weber comes up firing, not in time. Riley Silva slides safely for his 2nd stolen base of the season.
He reads it, he knows it's an off-speed pitch. And when that happens, Weber can't pop up as quick as he'd like to. Silva is sliding into 2nd base as that throw is reaching the bag. The throw is a little, it's not in the perfect spot to apply a tag. It's a little off to the right. It's a simple steal.
Wave and miss from Overbeek. Evens this kind of up at 2-2. Risky play there from Silva. It was gunned down by Weber early in the Saturday afternoon matchup. Silva gets the best of the Oregon State catcher today. Pulls grounded over off the glove of Craig. Silva rounds 3rd, headed for home. The play at the plate is not in time. Weber can't corral it. Silva slides in safely home. Joshua Overbeek advances to 2nd, and the Huskers extend their lead to 6-3.
And you just play a little bit of Little League baseball here, Nebraska does. You air at first, just a mishandle of it. The throw home, it's mishandled there as well. Silva kind of gets whacked in the nose and the face area by Weber. Not much either guy can really do. And when that happens, Overbeek knows, hey, you know what? Might as well make the rounds for second. Throw it a second, not as good either. And it's a little league play, but it works. And Nebraska has a 6-3 lead.
Throw from Arquette. Home was in plenty of time. Just down in the dirt, couldn't be corralled by the catcher Weber. It was officially recorded a hit for Joshua Overbeek. Tough diving play there for Craig at first. Brings to the plate Case Sanderson.
This is now the most amount of hits and runs that Ethan Kleinschmidt has given up all season. He has been phenomenal all year, and this is really the first time he's been hit around and rattled.
Ball's fouled up and out of play for Sanderson. Sanderson, 1 for 1 on the day, was hit by a pitch in the first, had the RBI single in the third. Nebraska now up 6-3 here on Oregon State. Just outside for a ball. Talked about Kleinschmidt's pitch count coming into the inning. It's now climbed up to 67 as that ball was fouled. Back up into the second deck here at Haymarket Park. Saw Bobby popped up. He was ready to grab it.
I was. I'm always ready.
Make the play.
Well, I've said this before. It was one time the ball hit the window directly to your left tray, and I was like, man, it would be awesome if the ball came into our booth. For how cold it is in the wind, we don't have the window fully open today, so.
2-2 pitch to Sanderson is upstairs for ball 3.
Can't really make a play if the ball comes my way, but.
It'd be a unique angle.
It would be.
Because that backstop is almost even with us. The 3-2 pitch to Sanderson is swung on and missed. Ball's thrown over to first by Weber, but not before Nebraska gets 4 runs in the bottom of the 4th. Nebraska leads Oregon State 6-3 on Big Ten Plus.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Broderick delivers home, catches the outside black for a called strike at 96 miles an hour, and the count is at 1-2. Broderick sets at the stomach and will deliver home to Peterson. Peterson fly ball into right, tracking back on it. And coming on in and making the catch is Robbie Bolin for out number 2. He is the new right fielder that is in. He comes in for Gabe Swanson. Just simple out made.
Nice routine play to get the footing underneath Robbie Bolin. Really came to life in that West Coast series for Nebraska. Handful of hits at USC and Pepperdine.
Is it A.J. Singer? Singer so far today is 3 for 3. He's doubled and he's had 2 singles in his most recent trips up to the plate. Took a first pitch strike from Broderick. There's Robbie Bolin out there in right. The right fielder is junior from Kansas. 0-1 to A.J. Singer. Ground ball on to second. Could be a bit of a tough play. Hopped, bobbled, flipped over to first. Not in time. It is high and it is over the glove of Sanderson. Going from first to third is Jacob Craig, and runners are at the corners with 2 outs. That's a tough play for Brumbaugh, and I almost think at times that play did not need to be made on the flip because it just made it really tough for Sanderson to leap up in the air and try to make that play.
Yeah, the flip felt really forced there from Brumbaugh. You botch the ground ball, solidified another day, runners on first and second, got to force at all 3 bases, but instead now first and third, Oregon State already has 2 runs here in the 7th, and now the go-ahead run is 90 feet away for the top of this dangerous Oregon State lineup.
They turn it over to Easton Talt. Talt, his 5th time up. First pitch he sees is a called strike on the inside corner. He has walked. He had a sacrifice bunt his third time up, fielder's choice his third time up, and then had the sacrifice bunt his fourth time up. So he's got on base in different ways. None of them have been via hit. 0-1 to Talt, swung on a miss for strike 2 at 90 miles an hour. Then you take 2 sacrifice bunts as well. Count sets it, no balls and 2 strikes. Runners at the corners here in the top of the 7th inning. Luke Broderick trying to get Nebraska to the stretch. Broderick sets and delivers home to Easton Talt. A ball missed low. That was close.
Nice 0-2 miss there. If you're Broderick, you're working ahead. Give him something out of the zone. See if Talt chases. Nice discipline there from the veteran right fielder.
1-2 again. Talt at home plate. Into right field. That's a base hit. That's down the line. It's going to get into the corner. 1 run scores for the Beavers. Getting the stop sign at third is Singer, and it is an RBI double for Easton Talt. 7-6 Oregon State.
Two-strike approach here from Talt. Chokes up on the back, gets a pitch he likes, and just flares it down the right field line for a stand-up double. Talked about Oregon State, their ability to pounce. They waste no time off the Caden Brumbaugh error. And just like that, Oregon State scores 3 and retakes the lead.
3 runs in the 7th inning for the Beavers, and they're in front by 1, 7-6. And again, still 2 outs. And Iva Arquette steps back up to the plate. So far, he has struck out twice and he's grounded out twice, still looking for his first hit of the ball game. And Broderick has just had unfortunate luck come his way. 1-0 misses down and out for a called ball. It's 2-0. Talt the runner at second, Singer is the runner at third. Arquette is the batter at home plate for Oregon State. Oregon State trailed 6-3 and has rallied back, scoring 4 runs in the last 2 innings. 2-0 to Arquette, in the zone for a called strike on the inner half of the plate. And now 2-1. Both runners in scoring position here in the top of the 7th inning. Oregon State trying to take advantage and walk out with a victory and go back home to Corvallis happy. The 2-1 upstairs, count goes to 3-1. Up next you have Trent Caraway and Gavin Turley. Turley led off this inning.
2, 3, 4 is not where you want to find yourself if you're Broderick with 2 runners in scoring position already down 1.
3-1 in the zone. The count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. This might be the biggest pitch of the game up to this point for both sides. 2 on, 2 out here in the top of the 7th, and the count is full. Broderick sets, looks at Arquette home, and will deliver. That is down the right field line into the protective netting, and we'll do it again.
Solid piece of hitting there from Arquette. 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. You can't go down looking in this moment. Just get the bat out there and fight it up off the netting. Live for another pitch here with 2 runners with a chance to really do some damage here for the Beavers.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Broderick throws home. Is ball 4 upstairs, and the bases are now loaded. And they turn it over to Trent Caraway.
Hey, take a deep breath, bro. You got this. Don't trip.
Now this is really not where you want to be.
Bases loaded. The 3-hole up for Oregon State, but nice discipline there from Arquette. Laying off that high inside fastball to work the walk. Now bases loaded, already up 1. Caraway 0 for 4 on the day, hitting .304 on the season. Say he's due would be an understatement. I'll take a coach's timeout to make sure everyone's on the same page. Bases loaded.
Just want to make sure you have the right approach here. Caraway so far has flown out, struck out, flown out, and popped out. He is 0 for 4. There you go, he struck out in the 3rd. This season, .304 average. He's got 3 home runs and has driven in 19. He's trying to put that number into the 20s with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Broderick with bodies all around him. First pitch swung on a miss by Caraway.
Broderick worked off speed there to start this at bat. It's been sitting around 95, 96. That one dropped down to 88 miles an hour.
0-1. Broderick throws home to Caraway again. And is called a strike on the outside corner. Zone looked like it expanded a little bit right there.
Looked like it was tied out. Jeske with a nice job to grab it and pull it back in. Now Broderick up 0-2 in a humongous spot here for Nebraska.
Broderick's 0-2 home to Caraway. Upstairs, count runs to 1-2, 96 miles an hour. Caraway had a duck out of the way. Again, we said those are some of the biggest pitches that were faced to Arquette. These are some of the biggest pitches that are being thrown right now to Caraway. Bases loaded, 2 outs, the 1-2 home to Trent Caraway. Upstairs again, the count worked even to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Broderick does not have that put-away pitch right now.
You have to be careful here. Nebraska needs it desperately. But you have to be careful here if you're Broderick. Do not lose Caraway after going up 0-2.
2-2, fouled off the right side in the protective netting. We'll do it again.
Oregon State's 2-strike approach this entire inning has been really solid. They take the pitch they don't like and fouling off. Talt choked up and got that one on the right field line to give Oregon State the lead.
You can see why they're a top 10 team, really at any ranking you look at. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. It's in the dirt. Jeske grabs it. All he has to do is touch home plate, and that will end the top of the 7th. Stretch time. 3 runs come across the plate for the Beavers. A lot more damage could have been done. It was a 2-run home run that tied it at 6th, and then it was the double down the right field line into the corner that made it 7-6. Oregon State on top of Nebraska on Big Ten Plus.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Friday night, Tyler Stone's first home run came on a pitch that was 96. He's no one hit the fast.
0-1 is down the line. That's a foul ball. It is a foul ball down the right field line, and he'll do it again. That was a 99. The count sits at no balls and 2 strikes. The shift is on as well.
Yeah, that double right fielder look that we talked about with the second baseman Singer playing shallow right, and the right fielder Easton Talt playing deep right. First baseman Jacob Craig hugging that line.
Edwards is just throwing hard. No balls, 2 strikes to Stone. That is into center field. Will it drop? It will. 1 run will score. Here comes another. There will be no play at the plate. Sliding into third and getting there safely is Dylan Carey. Tyler Stone delivers, and it is 8-7 Nebraska on top of Oregon State.
In a moment when they've needed it most all weekend long, Tyler Stone has delivered. He got the scoring of the weekend open with that moonshot on Friday night. When yesterday was still a close game, he had a double in the left center that scored a run, and without a doubt his biggest hit of the weekend comes with 2 strikes and 2 outs with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th as the Huskers retake the lead and respond just like they have all afternoon.
You want to talk about somebody delivering in a big moment? There's somebody delivering. They had Jeske in the on-deck circle. He has since been pulled off, and Nebraska will bring up a pinch hitter. Now the only question is, who is it going to be? And now they have their guy. 8-7, Tyler Stone delivers in a massive moment. And in the 7th inning, where the first 2 outs were retired rather quickly, Nebraska has rallied off of 2 hit-by pitches, a walk, and then a 2-run RBI single back into center field. Max Butenbach is the pinch hitter.
Max Butenbach with a pinch hit single late in the game yesterday. Graduate of Lincoln Southeast, played high school baseball with Will Jeske here in town.
First pitch hit in the air into right field. Butenbach at the track at the wall. It's over the wall and a 3-run home run. First pitch swinging for the pinch hitter is into the bullpen, and Nebraska's in front 11-7.
Cold off the bench. First pitch, Talt barely even moved. Max Butenbach, no doubter off the bat. And just like that, the bases go from loaded to empty. And Nebraska with a couple of huge insurance runs here in the bottom of the 7th off the pinch hit home run from the sophomore Max Butenbach.
Unbelievable. Just the 7th inning alone, and this is the 4th time today Nebraska has scored 4 runs. This is now 5 as they lead 11-7. First pitch to Devin Nunez, swung on a miss for strike 1. And we just said before Butenbach stepped to the plate, it was 2 quick outs, hit by pitch, walk, hit by pitch, and then Stone delivers. And Butenbach just says, here, watch this. 0-1 to Nunez. Down low, called a ball at 1-1.
How poetic is it? In one game, you have an opportunity when you desperately need it with a weekend series against a top 10 team.
1-1 got away. You're right.
That Will Jeske and Max Butenbach grew up playing high school baseball together in Lincoln and step up for their hometown school and hammer 2 massive home runs in key moments here on this Sunday afternoon.
2 balls and 1 strike. Misses upstairs, 3-1. And another reliever is up and moving around in the Oregon State bullpen. It has been cloudy all day, but the sun is shining on the Nebraska dugout right now. 3-1, misses down low. Nunez works another 2-out walk. And stepping up to the plate is going to be Robbie Boland. And another lefty. They've gone now 4 lefties in a row where you went Stone, Butenbach, Nunez, and now you go Boland. Boland came in for Gabe Swanson to play defense in the top half of the 7th inning, and he'll step to the plate. And this season, Boland batting .316. This is the 20th game he's played. He's batting, like I said, .316, .422 on base, slugging at .342. He's driven in 4. No home runs, only 1 extra base hit. First pitch is a called strike at 97 miles an hour.
Boland, another one of those junior college products that joined the Huskers this season. Came to Nebraska by way of Bark County Community College from Topeka, Kansas.
0-1 gets away. Nunez takes off from first. He'll get into second standing up. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the thing. Edwards, he's throwing 199, 98 miles an hour. If you can't locate the zone, it doesn't really matter how hard you're throwing. He's got to start to be able to locate. And when he's tried to locate, Nebraska's caught up to it and has sent the ball into play. 1-1 Edwards to Boland. That is back up the middle. That will be picked on its second. Throw over to first. Not in time. It was dropped, sliding in safely is going to be Nunez. Boland goes from home all the way to second base after it was dropped at first by Craig. And again, just another Little League Baseball play allows Nebraska to make it a 12-7 ball game.
I would expect this to be recorded as a hit. This is a really tough play. Back across Singer's body. Couldn't be picked either by Craig. I think Boland was going to beat it regardless. But the key with not being able to field the pick was Nunez with the read on third, able to score from second. Then the ball that couldn't be fielded by Weber. Boland advanced to second, and a whole lot going on here in the bottom of the 7th. 6 runs, all with 2 outs for Nebraska.
Here's Riley Silva. He led off this inning. First pitch to Silva, swung on and missed. Healthy cut. Tried to pull back at the last minute, but he couldn't. He led things off by getting struck out. Josh Overbeek, who's on deck, he also struck out in this inning. They had the first 2 outs since Nebraska has had 6 runners cross the plate. Check on Nunez over, or they check on Bolin rather at second. Nunez came around to score. They're still trying to figure out how to score this right now. It's not been counted.
A lot going on.
Yeah, it's not been counted.
A lot going on.
Is an error or hit. Silva, ground ball. That is through and underneath the dive of Craig into right field. Bolin from second to home. He scores standing up, and it is a 13-7 game. 7 runs in the 7th inning with 2 outs for Nebraska.
When you start compiling hits and the train gets rolling down the station, it's tough to stop it in Nebraska. They had the lead all day, saw a 3-run lead dwindle in the 7th, and all of a sudden they respond after 2 quick outs with 7 runs here to now go up 6.
Does not matter how you look at it. Nebraska or Oregon State pitching or they're hitting. It has just been wild top to bottom. 10 total runs in the 7th inning alone. Throwing down is Silva, steals second easily. Sliding in head first. First pitch, he said, you know what, why not? He hasn't tried to check me yet. He hasn't even seen what I've been able to do, and I'm just going to take off, and he steals second base. And another runner in scoring position, and Josh Overbeek, who struck out earlier in this same inning.
Couple times when everything starts to go, when some things start to go right, feels like everything starts to go right.
Runs inside to hit that hit Josh Overbeek. And now 2 are on. It clipped him, I believe, on his left leg. Kind of got blocked by it. He gets clipped, takes his base, and we turn it right back over to the top of the order. Case Sanderson is batting for the 2nd time in the 7th as well. That's now 3 batters this inning who are hitting for the 3rd time, and yep, ran in, and they're going to say it hit his left, like just inside of his left leg. 13-7 is our score. This game has been wild in every single facet. First pitch in on Sanderson is called ball.
Not every day you see Overbeek got hit on an inside off speed that hit his left leg. You don't see that every day.
(1-0) to Case Sanderson. Again, it's inside. Every pitch that's been thrown to this point by DeCremmer has ran inside, whether it's on Overbeek, and now Sanderson has been inside and has nearly clipped him. And well, one did clip him.
Now, local time is 3:57 Central. We have just received word that we talked about the time earlier, Bobby. Oregon State will not start a new inning come 4:15 local time.
That one hit Sanderson. You're right. Now the bases are loaded.
They have to make that flight. They got to get back home. And now we just received word up here that they will not start a new inning come 4:15 Central. It is currently 3:57 local time.
And it comes in and hit the right leg of Sanderson. I don't think Oregon State's going to the pen. They don't have anybody warming up now. They're just trying to settle in, and you're now watching the clock.
Another thing we have to keep an eye on here, Bobby, if you remember yesterday, Oregon State won 16-5 on a 7-inning mercy rule. If Caden Brumbaugh leaves the yard right here, this game is over.
Very well could be.
A 10-run mercy rule, 7th inning.
First pitch to Brumbaugh is a called strike on the outside corner.
It is fascinating how fast things can change. Oregon State was up 7-6, had 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th, all the momentum, and they were rolling.
They lost all of it. 0-1 to Brumbaugh. That is lined into left field, a base hit. This will score at least 1. Here comes another. Standing up into home plate is a simple run for Josh Overbeek, and then getting caught up between 2nd and 3rd is Case Sanderson. He's tagged out. That's going to end the 7th inning.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Top 10 weekend series win in 14 seasons if they close it out.
You kind of see Oregon State paying attention to the time, too. After that strikeout, they threw over to Craig, who immediately threw back to the pitcher, Hayton. Suckers off, said, hey, no, shook it off.
Let's go.
Go, got to keep going here.
First pitch, Tyler Stone, was a called ball. (1-0) catches the outside corner for a called strike.
Stone 3 for 4, had that huge, biggest hit of his 3 was that single in the 7th. The 2-run single gave Nebraska at the time an 8-7 lead, and it'd be followed by
Stone hits one into right field, coming on in and making the catch out there in right was Talt, and there are now 2 away in the 8th.
Hogan Haligzo got the start behind the dish for the first 2 games of this series. He'll come in to pinch hit for Will Jeske.
Remember, Jeske got pinch hit last time by Max Butenbach. First pitch to Haligzo, the transfer from Creighton, is outside for a ball. He gets to face his former team on Tuesday, right here in this ballpark, Nebraska and Creighton. Next game will be right here on Big Ten Plus. After that, they will play Omaha on Wednesday. Huskers, that is, and then they have a 3-game weekend series against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. That's their next 5 games. Oregon State will return home and have a 3-game weekend set against UC Irvine. 1-1 misses for a called ball at 2-1. After that, they'll have a game against Portland and then start a series against Cal State Fullerton on the road.
That UC Irvine, that's a good baseball team. They beat Nebraska in the 2025 season opener.
As Haligzo drives one into left center field, chasing back by the warning track at the wall, leaping up, and it's gone. Hogan Haligzo leaves the yard, and it is 16-7 Nebraska in front of Oregon State.
Very similar to the home run we saw from Wilson Weber earlier. Get the barrel on it, get it up high into that gusting wind, and anything can happen. And Haligzo put that one to the deepest part of this ballpark, up over that 403 sign in left center, to put an exclamation mark on what's been an overall fantastic day here for the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Offensive on show from Nebraska. Rhett Stokes steps to the plate. It is a 16-7 game with 2 outs, and Haligzo made sure he got every bit of that ball. Here's Rhett Stokes' number this season: 6 driven in, OPS at a 441, his batting average 200 flat. Comes in for Devin Nunez, who will take a seat. I'll tell you what, Trey, I don't think we're going to be playing like that.
You know, Bobby, I tried to give Will Bolt the benefit of the doubt earlier. So he's going to go out here, he's going to play the game the right way. Now that home run comes with 4:13, 2 minutes from that time that we were told would allocate a complete game. And now Will Bolt just tries to make sure Stokes is on the same page with 1 minute to go.
First pitch is, I believe, called ball. It was. 16-7. Goodness.
Offensive explosion.
Yeah.
10 runs.
That's not what we thought.
1 2/3.
And that's not what we thought we were going to see. Not at all. We were thinking we were going to see a pitching duel between Ethan Kleinschmidt, the Oregon State starter, and Jackson Brockett. We did not see that. Count even 1 ball and 1 strike to Rhett Stokes. Stokes go around. He did. Was in the zone regardless. There are 2 strikes count. 1 and 2, 2 away in the 8th. One, 2. Back up the middle. It will not be picked. It is a single into center field, and Stokes gets on the board. (16-7) still, and now Umpire was making a motion. He's like, here, new ball, new ball, new ball. Making
that one rolled through the grass, and that still probably damp from the morning showers that pushed us back earlier.
And also the rain that came down yesterday as well. Robbie Bolin comes up for his second time. He's singled in the 7th. The scoreboard right now has, now they're adding the outs back. They had no outs, but there are indeed 2 outs here inside Haymarket Park. First pitch is a called strike to Robbie Bolin. 1 for 1. He had that single in the 7th. That's been home. He came in and he pinch hit for Gabe Swanson, and he took over for him. 1 misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike at 93 miles an hour.
Robbie Bolin got his first hit of the day through that 7th inning unleashing of the Nebraska bats.
All runs inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. And everyone for Nebraska has gone through and has gotten has delivered in some sort of way, has gotten some sort of hit. Two 1 is a called strike on the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Two balls, 2 strikes. Robbie Bolin swings and misses through it for a called strike 3, and that will be the game. 4:17. They said they wouldn't start a new inning after 4:15, and that will be the case. So we will not play the top of the 9th. And the final score is 16-7. Nebraska grabs the victory over Oregon State.